Testing 1, 2. Hey, just gonna wait a few minutes, and I'm hoping that everybody can hear me. Quite a few things I wanted to go over. So good morning. I wanted to take a minute of time to just send a clear message about the recent situation that happened over in Harvey, Illinois. The brutal attack on myself and my daughter, and pending federal indictment on Christopher Clark. The message that we want to send and without hesitation is that, first of all, Mr. Clark, we are working towards your indictment. We are working towards making sure that you are prosecuted for federal corruption. What are some of the incidents that we are referring to? The continued harassment of business owner by the name of Hassan. He was brutalized on a continuous basis. He was harassed on a continuous basis. And I just want to be clear, the brutalization, the attack on Hassan happened. We know of one incident, but the ongoing harassment had been over the course of a 3-week, 4-week period, up until even as late as yesterday, by a gentleman who was on your payroll, Jedediah Brown. We want to say that the harassment of Jedediah Brown and his group of domestic terrorists has to stop. His group INA is in fact a group of domestic terrorists who have created many criminal offenses. And as we go on and as the days go on, those offenses are stacking up. The attack that happened on myself and my daughter while attending a public service, a community service event in Harvey, Illinois, was orchestrated by yourself, Mr. Clark, assisted by the Harvey police, members of the Harvey police, and is now trying to attempt to railroad the criminal investigation. We can't stand for that. And what do we mean by that? What we mean is that these people haven't been effectively charged. They never went to the county for an effective charge. They were apprehended, but they were not arrested. We know that to be the case. We want a clear arrest on these multiple suspects for multiple felonies. Let's talk about what those felonies should be. Multiple incidents of attack, assault and battery, multiple incidents of attacking myself and my daughter, multiple incidents of assaulting others, Ryan and the young lady Beth who was there. Those should not go unheard. What about attempting to flee the scene? One of your officers had to actually pull her guns out on the vehicle that the crew of Jedediah was driving. There should be an attempting fleeing charge. There's nothing there. What about resisting arrest on the young man Rashad? There should be a charge for that as well. We want to see the effective charges, and it should be at county or state level, not in the kangaroo court down in Harvey, Illinois on August 22nd. So we are pushing for this situation, this case with these multiple suspects, including my daughter, myself, Ryan, Joseph Pusley, to be overturned, and we want the correct charges. We want these people booked correctly. We are in conversation with the state's attorneys to make that happen. I want to be very clear. What happened to us was nothing short of a mob action orchestrated by employees of the city of Harvey, Illinois, while on a community service detail. Over 10,000 people have seen the videos. There is no way for you to hide what happened to us. There's no way that, Clark, that you can undermine this investigation. These people have to be criminally convicted with multiple felonies. Again, we are in conversation with the state's attorney. We won't leave it up to the Harvey police. I have made calls to the chief of police. He hasn't returned my calls. We haven't been able to effectively get a case report or a case file, but others have, so we do have the data. There's another instance to where Jedediah and his team have been made victims, the perpetrators of an attack. So what we're going to do is we're going to correct this and we're going to make it right. But just know that the public is watching and all eyes are on this situation, and we will address it as we need to, but we won't slow down. I also want to say that in reality, this situation will not slow down the criminal investigation or the pending RICO charges that we are asking for in review from the federal government of corruption, ongoing corruption in the city of Harvey. That corruption leads right down to your desk, Mr. Clark, and we will continue to pursue those charges. The reality of the situation is the Harvey police have been a willing proponent. Not every officer, but the majority of the officers have played a part in the ongoing corruption, right down and including what happened to us yesterday. So what I'm going to ask for you to do and what I'm going to suggest at this point in time is that you continue to address and rewrite the narrative when it comes to what happened with us. We want the situation addressed correctly, and like I said, the eyes of the world are watching. We want these charges effectively. We want these people booked and effectively recharged. The court case in Harvey will not work. It won't work for us. It won't. The charges have not been done. I mean, I'm saying this again and again because I'm trying to emphasize that it is not going to work. And we won't accept it. I do want to say to Jedediah Brown and his people, this criminal organization that you've been running, you call it INA, the one that has been shaking down the citizens of Harvey and terrorizing people in the Southland of Chicago, is over with. We're not selling for this harassment. I'm asking all the men in Chicago, in Harvey, Illinois, in Chicago from the South Side to stand up and not allow these folks to do what they're doing, ongoing harassment. I'm asking all the men to be able to address the situation appropriately when you see these people coming around. Because here's the thing, it is very, very important that we are handling these matters effectively. Harassment and bullying of seniors, elders, and children is what this group says they're willing to do to prove their point. And we have to stand up and say that we're not going to allow them to do that, right? We have to let them know that from this point on, it ends today, right? I am under the firm belief that we can change Harvey. We can get the corruption out of Harvey, but it's not going to happen under the desk of Mr. Brown or under the desk of Mr. Clark with association of Mr. Brown. We want immediate attention to this matter. I would ask the community to continue sharing the information. I am asking the community to continue standing up for what is right, right? I'm asking the community to continue to go to the meetings, to let Clark know that this agenda of corruption has to end, and hopefully it will. If anybody can correct me, please send me the information. But to date, Mr. Clark has not said anything about this attack that happened in this community. I wonder why, right? We need a change in Harvey, and I think that maybe this will be one of the catalysts. Myself, the harassment of the 70-year-old business owner Hassan, the continued harassment as of even the day before yesterday. It has to end. Jedediah Brown and his people are a danger, a menace to society. He is a domestic terrorist. I won't stop short of saying that. I'm asking all of my people, all of my comrades nationally, if you see his information, if you see his post, dispute him. This is a national call to action, because what we have to do is we have to minimize his impact. We have to let folks know. That what it is that he's doing is not correct. And we don't want to, I know that Mr. Clark, as of the last meeting when we asked for the federal indictment, said that he was going to leave, that he asked for a truce, and Jedediah may have went live and said that he was going to leave Harvey. But we don't care about that, because there is crimes. There are crimes that are on the table. There's harassment. There's cyberbullying. There are things that have been done in real time that we will not let go of, that they have to be held accountable for. So we're going to continue on with our agenda. We will not stop. The message to the Harvey police is that we want these guys charged correctly. For those who are able to call the Harvey City Hall and Harvey Police Department, let them know that we want these charges done correctly. For those who are continuously watching, even from around the country, let them know that we want Jedediah charged correctly. There is a pending case in Flint, Michigan. I believe it's check your calendar. I believe it's the 22nd. I could be wrong. This coming next week. Let's let that prosecutor know that Mr. Brown is hell-bent on criminal activity, and it hasn't slowed down even since the criminal activity in Flint. We'll share that information for that prosecutor. Let's start connecting the dots. Let's let people know that, criminal activity will not persist. Criminal activity will be challenged wherever it is. Health-wise, physically-wise, I'm almost back to normal. I do have a shattered eye socket from the mob action when I was attacked in defending my daughter. And I mean, as far as that, it's going to take about 6 months to heal, but I am back. I am asking for the community to continue going and challenging the officials on the ground in Harvey, and asking for not only for justice, but to ask for things to be held in order, things to be put in place. We cannot stop. We can't stop, and we won't stop. For those who are continuously receiving or being harassed or have been harassed by anyone from the city of Harvey under Mayor Clark's regime, including Jedediah Brown, for those who have been bullied or ticketed incorrectly, it's also bullying. It's also a form of harassment. Please send an email. As we're building the federal case, we will definitely include that information. Amir Shakur speaks at gmail.com. I'll put that information in the comments, and you'll have that information. Let's connect the dots again. Let's build that case against Mayor Clark and his people. Thank you for all the well wishes. Thank you, Tina. Thank you, Vivian. Thank you, everyone who's been watching what's going on, and everybody who is associated with this case. We have to send a resounding message to these people that this corruption is not going to go on. If we back down, and if we stop, or if we cower in fear, which I know that we won't do, then they win. We're not going to let them win. And don't let the little information about saying that there's a truce or I'm not going to be Harvey, or, sometimes people have a convenient way of forgetting about things in the past when the heat is on. There can be no truce when you've done things wrong. There can be no, let's forget about it. When we have a criminal history in the past, as recently as yesterday, we can't let that happen. Let's get the right leadership in Harvey. If it's Colby, if it's whoever it is, let's look for the right leaders in Harvey. Let's start assimilating those people right now. A community which I frequented as a child. I even grew up in and lived in Harvey. I want to make it clear, we are going for a federal prosecution of Mayor Clark, his associates, Jedediah Brown, this criminal organization that he's put together called INA. Not sophisticated, but low-level criminal organization, right? In the meantime, please feel free to reach out. All of the creators around the country who are assisting with this matter, thank you for the call to action. LNC and Minion and all of these people, let's continue our work. Ryan, Vivian, let's continue our work. Let's continue